Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing as Tengu Transmuter of Rue for the Crawl 0.18 release tournament. We just picked up the Gossamer Rune from Spider, and we were sort of waffling about where we're going to go next. Also, Snorg? Still in red, I don't know. We could kill him maybe, but there's not much reason to. Most uniques are like that. Except in the very, very early game where, like, the experience is a humongous amount. Like, you can gain 2 whole levels from killing Grinder or something. After that early stage of the game, the unique reward is basically just nothing. It's easier to just leave them alone. And of course, in the early game, it's just as important to leave them alone, arguably more so, because they'll kill you. Right here, like, we could probably kill Snorg. It's not a big deal, but I don't think there's any real reason to. Whereas in the early game, there's kind of a reason to, but it's not worth the risk. So we could do what? Shoals, depths. Seems a little early for depths. Elf, vaults. Ugh. Blech. Slime. Bleh. Let's just check out shoals. I don't really want to do vaults this game. I would like to pick up regen, though. Book of Necromancy. Oh, we would still have to buy it. That's fine. What else is there that we wanted to buy? Not much, really. Let's head over, grab this. Osculos. Spider. Okay, here we are. Let's pick up... I don't need the Book of Air anymore, do I? No, I already have magic. Repel missiles. Just pick up Necromancy. Memorize. Oh! Guys! We cannot study or cast necromancy spells. Alright, well that was a waste of however much gold. 400 or something. So okay, there is one necromancy spell I would have liked to cast, as it turns out. Oh well. How about Hydroform? We could get it castable without too much more work. It would help in shoals. And our main bread and butter skills are pretty high. I'm gonna go for it. Let's work on transmutations. And I think I'll just dip into elf. Yeah. I wouldn't mind being abyssed. It wouldn't be a big problem then. So, like, I don't know. The main problem in elf is not really being abyssed in general anyway. It's like there's a lot of strong monsters there who want to kill you. And that's still true. Oh, we got badly poisoned, huh? That's what happens when you go spider form and monsters apparently have a weapon of venom that you didn't know about. No, don't auto-explore. Sure, I guess you're right. Asterion is here, alright. Demon Blade of Venom. We could, like, use a Potion of Might against him or something. Maybe even Berserk Rage. We're not going to get a lot of chances to use that. And right now, because, like, the problem with Berserk Rage is if you're in a large group, the situation can turn bad. I don't know. This situation could turn bad also. So maybe it's wrong. But like, I don't know. I feel like if we're berserked with blade hands, he's not going to stand a chance. Let's go for it. I'll feel bad if I die. But that's always true, right? You always feel bad if you die. Okay. I've never seen that message before. I know when you open a door while berserk, it's like you kick the door open, but apparently when you close them, you get a similar message. That's kind of cool. Because your stealth is set to 0 when you are berserking. So you really are making a lot of noise, and the game wants to make that clear to you. That's kind of cool. Nope, don't auto-explore. I don't know, I feel like an elf it's probably okay to auto-explore, maybe. I'm glad I have repel missiles. What was this? What hit me? Lightning. Lightning is hitting me. This hurts. And I'm slowed as well? Let's just apocalypse. Alright. And then let's get out of here. Grab a snack. Yeah, being slowed in the middle of all that is just not a place you want to be. Nope. Man, I don't know. Auto-exploring should be okay, right? Come on, give me a break. Give me a break, past Alan. Like, it's not, it's, being forced to follow through with my plan of not auto-exploring is very tiresome. So a lot of elf. Yeah, let's clear these macros. There we go. We're gonna auto-explore elf. Take that. Am I wearing the right ring still? Yes. Hydroform. Oh, well, of course we can't. Wait. Oh, because we're drained. All right. There's a lot of monsters. We could probably apocalypse this. But right now, most of them we can't actually... You can't... Translucent walls let you see things, but they don't count as being seen in terms of being allowed to attack them. So, like, you can't smite through walls, and neither can monsters. And an apocalypse out there would not reach those guys. So, it's not a good time to do it right now. But it might be if I can get a little bit further out there. Ow. It slowed me again, jeez. Let's cast Osgood's armor, or try to, right? 41% to fail. It worked. Now we have a pretty good apocalypse if we want it. And I think I do. Blade hands wore off, so let's refresh that. Okay, we killed a bunch of elves and we're somewhat badly drained, so we're going to back off. But it's like fine. All this drain is not that big a deal. Oh, I should have repel missiles up, huh? But right now is not the time to do that. All right, there we go. What's this? Interesting robe. Slay is nice, but it's not the be-all, end-all. And our current robe is pretty good. Well, well, it's leather, I guess. So it's sort of like we would lose 1 strength and 1 armor and regen, and we would gain Slay +2. That's a pretty good deal. I would take that, but I'm just going to put it on my shopping list and come back after we're done looting Elf, because you never know what you're going to find down there that might be better than either of these things. As I usually say when I do something like this. So, like, normally, I advise players not to save up their money. Like, if you find something in a shop that you want to buy, that you would like to have, and you can afford it, then you should buy it. You know, Crawl is all about optimizing for the now and then letting the later work itself out, as it typically does. This is a little scary. But when I'm in the middle of Elf or Orc, I typically don't follow that policy because I know there's a good chance that you actually will find an upgrade soon. Normally, like, if you find a shop, you have no reason to believe that there's like a shop with something you'd rather spend money on or something that's a better item than the thing you're thinking of buying. But in Orc and Elf, you know there is a big pile of loot coming up fairly soon, either in terms of the Orc end shops or the Elf end vault loot pile thing. And so I think it's perfectly reasonable to save your money until you know what's in the end vault. Oh my gosh, this guy. All the blinking. Oh, I have identify. Let's identify some scrolls, I guess. We found a lot of scrolls that we found exactly one of. And by the way, like our drain, it's more or less worked off. We were using Apocalypse somewhat freely, and it's totally fine. I'm just going to keep mentioning this like every time I do it because it's something that takes some getting used to. You're used to hoarding god abilities, which you shouldn't really even do with most gods. But like with Rue, you can use your abilities even more. Drain comes back so fast. And you don't risk putting yourself under an important piety threshold like you do with other gods, right? If you use the heck out of, say, Trog's Brothers in Arms, or Finesse, Okawaru's Finesse is an example that happens to me. If you use a lot of Finesse, you can lower yourself below 5 stars and not have Finesse available in a position where you really want it. But when did our evasion get up to 34? My goodness. But with Rue, your piety never goes down. It's just that your drain gets worse and worse. So if you like use Apocalypse and you're like a little drained, and you find another situation where you want to use Apocalypse but you're pretty drained, you can still use Apocalypse, right? And it's just as good, even though you're drained. It means you have more debt to work off, but that's fine. You resolved whatever situation it was that made you want to. Oh, I'm not gonna look at how castable Hydra form is while in Blade form. It's not going to be very castable, is the answer. So even more than other gods, you can use your Rue abilities pretty freely whenever you think they would help. Apocalypse, the drain cost is large, and so you don't want to do it against like every monster, the way you do with Heroism. But any like group of monsters or any particularly difficult monster, yeah, absolutely Apocalypse it. Anything that makes you go, ooh, geez, I don't know what I should do about this guy. Just like nuke him. Drop the bomb. You gave up your ability to cast a regen for this, right? Like, it better be useful. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of deep elf mages, not too big a deal. It's like sorcerers and high priests. Oh, of course, I can't cast that in blade form. All right, hydroform's getting pretty good. We might even be able to use it for the beastly appendage. Sure, why not? Sometimes my fingers make some poor choices. Don't you dare blink away from me again. Oh, man. Oh, geez, this guy. Look at him, the strats. I'm going to kill these daggers, and then I'm coming for you, buddy. I forget what I was saying. Hydroform. We might, if we wanted to, be able to use it against the Elf End Vault, but I don't think that's a good idea. It's pretty... It's pretty standard in the Elf End Vault to kill hole it, right? And Hydroform is not very good like that. You could say, there's a bunch of elves. I'll use Hydroform and just charge in the vault. But like that's not a good thing. It's like, yeah, you are able to attack a bunch of monsters, but in order to make that happen, you had to expose yourself intentionally to a bunch of monsters. Wouldn't it be better if you just didn't do that? The answer to that is yes, that would be better. Thank you for asking. Drop. Amnesia, yes. I don't need to go to Hollow Blades. But I do want to finish up Elf 3. How are we doing for time anyway? 17 minutes. Elf is a breeze, man. I do like the... I'm still happy with the change that Grunt made to Elf a while ago. Folding together all of the many different Elf Mage types into just one, like Conjurer and Summoner and the mages who are just basically like nothing are now all mages with different spell books. So, fighting a mage is kind of interesting. I guess I'm not getting the old Meek minimal win this game, am I? There's a guy named Meek. I actually don't know how he wants his name pronounced. M-I-E-K. He I don't know, he's just some guy. And he, at some point, declared that a win was minimal from the point of view of Meek if you won without going... If you won with 3 runes and you didn't go to Elf or Vaults or something like that. Because those are just places you can sort of grind for a little better loot or better experience. And I have a couple of minimal wins, but I don't think it's a particularly important goal. I was just thinking about, like, maybe this game I'll get it because I don't really want to do vaults. But I'm in Elf anyway, so okay, that's not happening. We're going to Apocalypse. This is a lot of stuff, and some of it is hurting, so go away. I wonder why I chose Ice Beast, or Ice Form. Ugh, Demonologist, boo. Mm-hmm. Alright, so that was an error. Let's teleport. Let's get out of here. Okay. We don't want to mess with that. This is a very long vault, or wall, I'm sorry. Very sparkly, too. I was thinking that there must be, at the end of this, the vault, right? But no, it's just a really, really long corridor. Weird. It's just like, oh, there's nothing in here. If this were real life, and I were like an adventurer, I'd be like, there's got to be a secret in here. Look how thick this wall is. But no, I don't think there is. Crawl doesn't do that. As everyone knows, I am an adventurer in real life. I slay monsters and go through the dungeons and all that exciting business. Any rumors you may have heard to the contrary are malicious and slanderous. Where is the treasure vault? Up here? Maybe. Here? Probably not. There would be more elves. Also, there's usually like stone around the entrance. There it is, probably. So let's, we're gonna wanna dig out some kind of kill hole here. And also try to protect it against Deep Elf Elementalists if we can somehow. I think the first step is to just dig something out. And then if Elementalists prove to be a problem, leave transformation, please. Then we can figure something out. All right, you think you're a blade master? I'll show you blades, my friend. All right, he's hitting pretty hard considering he's just using some short swords. I'll give him that. All right, repel missiles fell off, so let's fix that. And we should be able to just, but see, look, we hit that guy so hard that two people heard us murder him and are now after us. See? Annihilator and Sorcerer, not too bad. Well, alright. I guess get teleported, I guess. Evasion 35. Our dodging is really paying off, I guess. We found some more scrolls of teleportation. Okay. All right, we heard some shouts. Let's back off into here. Get up blade hands and start lawnmowering people. 2 elementalists who didn't choose to awaken Earth at all. That's nice. Didn't drop anything. Oh well. There's another Annihilator. Let's just drag him back. What? That's a shapeshifter for sure. Yeah. Let's just back off now. Don't want to attract too much stuff. There's a Death Mage. And we got him. Demonologist, we definitely do not want out in the open at all. We can one-shot him, which is nice, right? I like it. But we've got these guys like, oh yeah, we're in the abyss, whatever, man. Not a big deal. Huh, that's funny. The kill hole came with us. I do like the, okay, we're on Abyss 2. Keep that in mind. I keep forgetting that you can, be abyss to someplace other than abyss 1. So abyssing is like no longer quite as trivial as it used to be because you can be sent super deep, but I don't know. Usually you kind of want to keep going deeper anyway to find the exit sooner. Not like all the way to 5. I've done that accidentally. It's like I got abyss to abyss 3 or something, and I was like, I'll just dive a little to get down to like 3 or 4. And I was already on 3, so I made it all the way down to 5. I was like, boy, this place is really bad, this game. And it's like, yeah, well, that's because you were on abyss 5, which is like never a place that you want to be, in my opinion. I have the scroll requirement, but I'm not going to read it while I'm in the abyss, because you can be teleported at any time, and the item created by acquirement is dropped on the floor. So you certainly can read acquirement, and an item appears, and it instantly you are teleported away from it, never to be seen again, which is a bit of a letdown. It's unlikely, and so like, if I were desperately in need of some upgrade and thought that I might die in Abyss without it, I would I would read it. But I don't think we're in that position. I think we can wait. Silenced. The Silent Spectre, like down here, I think. Let's leave him alone. Where's the next sec? There he is. I don't like this guy. He's probably going to malmutate me. There he is. All right. So now let's blade hands. Ugh, come on. All right, we got him. The thing is to manipulate line of sight so that they spend as little time as possible with you in line of sight, unable to hurt them. Ideally, you want them to spend no time at all in your line of sight, but that means not fighting them at all, right? Running away without them ever seeing you. If you are going to actually fight them, then it like kind of means making sure that they step into your line of sight in a location where you can attack them immediately. What is this? I'll just kill the zombie real quick. Oh, never mind. I don't care what that is. Gosh, it looks like it could be the rune. I'm gonna check. I don't know. It's silly, but what if it's the rune, guys? Although we actually, if it is the rune, I no longer want it because we just got tormented by that lurking horror. Let's just get out of here. Could have been the rune. I don't know. If I were not playing on camera, I would consider, although not necessarily actually do, looking through the list of the Abyssal Rune Vaults and see if any of them have that giant 5-wide door. And then I could like... Oh, there goes our kill hole. Oh well. Not bad, actually. How could we fix it? Not really, but we can just build a new one. I don't always like to do that, but you know, the vaults are supposed to be... Crawl tries to be a game that you can't be... that there's not spoilers for, right? If I tell you, hey, you know, spark wasps have an attack that lets them like blink while also shooting lightning at you, you should be prepared for that. Like, you know, that's not privileged information that you can only learn by being told by someone or seeing it happen. Crawl tries to tell you these things generally. You know, if we look up spark wasps, it says it has blink bolt, and you read blink bolt, turn them into lightning bolt, and move to the location, right? So you can figure this stuff out. There are other games like NetHack where learning all this crap by having it happen to you is like part of the fun of the game. Crawl mostly tries not to do that because it sort of leads to how do you play NetHack? Well, you go read a book on like how to play NetHack, what to look out for. I don't even know what I want. I guess Wand. Sure, Wand of Hastings pretty darn good. So Crawl's vaults are sort of like, they are spoilable, and that is a problem with them, is that if the first time you're seeing a vault, you're at a big disadvantage compared to if you've seen it before, which is like, it's kind of a shame, but that's the way it is. And I don't mind looking up a vault on occasion on the principle that if it could, Crawl would tell me everything that's in the vault. But it's not really that easy to do. I'm not sure. I thought we might have killed enough stuff that it was time to charge in there, but it looks like that is not the case. Here I am, guys. Come get me. We got them both, right? Sometimes I can't tell. Maybe they just blinked away or something, but I think we killed them both. Like, if you're not paying enough attention, you can not be sure how many monsters you killed. Book of Battle has regen. Too bad we can't cast that, huh? Yeah, don't really want any of the rest of that. Nothing else here we want. Let's keep Azakuwa's armor up. Nice, one-shotting death mages. Looks like we're about done here. Ooh, new gloves. Could be good. Drop, what is some junk we picked up? Wands of Slowing, please. Polymorph, Paralysis. Way too much acid and Ice Blast. Scroll of Summoning, not going to be reading that anytime soon. +1 Gloves of Strength, sure. Let's enchant those up. Now we'll drop our old +2 Ordinary Gloves. Great. Looks like we're done with the treasure vault, but there's still some of Elf 3 left, so we'll finish that off this episode. I still don't know where I put the mute button, so my apologies. Whew. Just suddenly had to sneeze there, and don't really have the tools to make that not obnoxious. Sorry. All right. Yeah, there's still plenty of Elf 3 left, but mostly it should be like, well, I need to be careful before I say it's going to be easy. Because already, here's a lot of elves. This is more elves than I was fighting out in the open in the vault, right? Gonna move towards him quite slowly, because he can do a lot of damage in one turn. I see he's blinked adjacent to me, which was a poor plan. How are we doing? All right, great. Let's save macros just real quick here. Yes. All right, great. We're done with Elf, and as let's head on out, which means picking up this robe on the way. high elf, puny elf, squishy elf, I don't know. And we're going to go, like I said, back and pick up this robe that we were thinking of maybe picking up. Now that we've decided we do want it. And let's just go back to the dungeon. All right, great. We're done with elf, and now we can go do whatever next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.